Hello and welcome back to my channel. Hope you enjoy my previous videos. In this video, I'm going to talk about the impact of hammer and hanging man, inverted hammer and shooting star candlestick pattern on trend reversal. Hammer and inverted hammer patterns are very similar and the most important and widely used candlestick among traders, and also known as a green bullish pin bar. This pattern is seen at the bottom of a downward trend and mostly used as a warning sign of the trend change from downward to upward direction. This graph shows hammer and inverted hammer pin bar. It characterized as a small body, and a long lower shadow and a long upper shadow. The upper shadow and lower shadow must be more than 3 times the size of the body. Hammers open at this point. The price comes down because of the seller pressure. And when it comes here, it's rejected by the buyer's power. And the buyers push the price up. And here it passed the open price and finally it closes here. The inverted hammer, the price opens at this point. The price go up because of the buyer in the market, and finally it rejected by the seller power, by the selling power. And the sellers push the price down all the way till here, and the price closes here. These two can have green or red color, and it comes usually at the end of a downward trend. If the color be green, it indicates more power of the trend. In this graph, we see hammer and inverted hammer at the bottom of a downward trend. At the bottom of a downward trend. Now, the price suddenly experiences a buying pressure after a bearish move. This is bearish movement, and this is a buying pressure. And the same thing here. The price has experienced a buying pressure after a bearish move, or we can say the price reached an area where the probability of rising the price is high. As we discussed earlier, the color of these two candles is not important. Can be green or red, bearish or bullish. But if it be bullish, the reversal has more power. In order to enter the market, we have to wait for the next bullish candle to form in both cases. And in this cases, if the bullish candle closes above the closing price of the first candle, then you can enter the market. And in this case, if the bullish candle closes above the upper shadow, then you can enter the market, and the trend will change from downward to upward. Same thing as here, downward to upward directions. The hanging man pattern has a strong similarity with shooting star. They are the most important and widely used candlestick among traders, and also known as a red bearish pin bar. This pattern is normally seen at the top of an upward trend, and mostly used as a warning sign of the trend change from uptrend to downtrend direction. But the descending body and a long lower shadow for a hanging man and a long upper shadow for a shooting star at the top of an upward trend are alarming. In this graph, we see hanging man and shooting star, both characterized as a small body, long lower shadow, as you see here, long upper shadow, as you see here, and the upper and lower shadow must be more than 3 times the size of the body. Both of them is seen at the top of an upward trend. The color of these two, it's not important, can be green or red, bullish or bearish. But if the color be red, the reversal has more power. In this graph, we see hanging man and shooting star at the top of an upward trend. Now, the price experience selling pressure after a bullish move here in this uptrend, and the same thing here, the price experience a selling pressure in the market after a bullish move, or we can say the price reached an area where the probability of decreasing the price is high. Same thing here. The price reaches an area where the probability of decreasing the price is high. Now, in order to exit the market, we have to wait for the next bearish candle to form. It closes here, the bearish candle. If the closing price of the bearish candle be below the lower shadow of this candle, and also the close price of this bearish candle be below the close price of the first pin bar, then we can exit the market right here, and we can exit the market right here. Now, the color of these two candles, as we discussed earlier, it's not important. But if the color be red or bearish, then the reversal has more power. In this graph, we see two bearish hammer pin bar at the bottom of a downward trend, and the same thing here, two bullish hammer at the bottom of a downward trend. And this one we discussed earlier that it will change the trend from downward to upward, and this is almost the confirmation candle. So if we see these two pin bar at the bottom of a downward trend, then the trend will go upward. It reverses the direction from downward to upward direction. And the same thing as this one goes from downward to upward direction. In this graph, we see two shooting star at the top of an upward trend. The first one is bullish and the second one is bearish. Now, as we discussed earlier, the first one, regardless of the color, it will reverse the direction. So only thing we have to wait for the confirmation candle, which this one acts as almost confirmation candle. So the trend will go from upward to downward direction. As if you see these two candles at the top of any upward trend, then you see the trend will go from upward to downward direction. Now, this one, it's the first one is one hammer, and the second one is inverted hammer at the bottom of a downward trend. Now, the first one will change the direction upward, whereas the second one, it cancel it. So that is the reason if you see these two at the bottom of a downward trend, the price will zigzag for a while and eventually it will go up. In this graph, we see a bearish shooting star and a bullish hanging man at the top of an upward trend. Now, if you see this pair of pin bar, we know after the price will zigzag for a while. So you have to wait for the confirmation candle to see whether the trend will go up or down. If you like this video, thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave your comments. Thanks for watching. Take care and see you next time.